Yeah, you see, I don't see in Greek, I think Adam and man are different words. In Hebrew, they're not. So in any case, so they don't pick up the Hebrew identity there of Adam and man, because Adam is a name in Greek and man is a different word in Greek, anthropos, as we know. So the first man of the earth, the second man is the Lord out of heaven. There it is, that he comes out of heaven on the clouds, you know, and so on and so forth. So Jesus is the Lord out of heaven. Then he goes on to explain that, what kind of life you're going to get, I guess, after the, you know, after the resurrection or after the present world passes away. And this is a favorite passage in Paul. So let me tell you a heavenly secret. We shall not all die. And I've said that a lot in the Damascus document from the Dead Sea Scrolls, where it defines who the sons of Adam, sons of Zadok are, sons of Zadok on column 4, sons of Zadok coming from these passages in Ezekiel, at the end of Ezekiel, where Ezekiel pictures the reconstructed temple and the sons of Zadok. Zadok being the high priest in David's temple, the first high priest of the first temple. How the sons of Zadok are going to be, and it says, and they shall stand, there's the standing one, but it's plural here in the Damascus document, column 4. And they shall, the sons of Zadok are the first men of holiness, or something like that. The text is broken there. Who shall stand or go on standing in the last days. And so what I've tried to point out in that is stand can also mean go on functioning, or it can also be resurrected in Hebrew. In Ezekiel, the bones passage also from those final chapters of Ezekiel, and the bones are pictured as standing up from the earth. By the way, bones don't just stand up in the normal way, they stand up a vast and immense army in Ezekiel. You know, I always, you might laugh, and I may have told you this, when I was young we used to say prayer in classes in all the high school, or in all the grade schools, grammar schools, that was normal. And we said the Lord's Prayer and so on and so forth, and then we would also usually read a psalm or something. And usually we would choose what psalm we would choose to read, the students, and one of the favorite psalms was Psalm 24. By the way, I think that was healthy, even though it may have had some religious overtones that some people disagreed with, but it certainly gave people a certain moral compass that is, as we now know, totally lacking in the education and the fabric of the schools. And it isn't good enough to teach comparative religions in place of that. It's nice to inspire young people with something. Anyway, this Psalm 24, which we would know, and we, of course, another favorite was Psalm 23. Make me lie down in green pastures, leads me beside still water, he restores my soul, and so on and so forth. Leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. So I just still recite it to you. It's a beautiful song. But 24 was lift up your gates, so lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. And it goes on like that, and it says, who is the King of glory? The Lord of hosts, he is the King of glory. If you're familiar with the Psalms, how many have heard that song? Okay. Well, a third of you have. If you had lived in my day, all of you would have. You see, I can still recite it, but it's just like rote out of my brain. They said it so often in the classes. So being young and very childlike at that time, to me, the Lord of hosts, I said, oh yeah, the Lord of hosts. You know, he would sit down at the table, and I'd get it all confused in my brain, and I thought it meant a person who was being a good host. I didn't realize the Lord of people who are, you know, receive people in their houses and have a good welcoming atmosphere of hosts. I didn't realize it actually meant the Lord of armies. I didn't realize it meant the heavenly hosts. That is, the heavenly army. Anyway, that Ezekiel speaks of standing up a vast and immense army, Sabah in Hebrew. And Tzava, even in modern Hebrew, if you know the name of Israel Defense Forces, they're called Zahal. And Zahal is an acronym, Z-A-H-A-L, for Tzva, Army, shortened, like isn't Tzva Haganah Israel, the army of the defense, the defense forces for the state of Israel, the Tzahal, Tzva Haganah Israel. So even in Israel, the army is still called the Tzava. So just what you'd like to know. I thought it meant someone who gave people a good dinner. And I'm sure a lot of people may have made that. Anyway, so he's the Lord. Second man is, I'm going to tell you a heavenly secret. And the point of that section in the Damascus document is that I think it was clear from the Damascus document that the righteous dead will have to enjoy whatever is being predicated, but the righteous living are not all going to have to die first before they go into the kingdom. You see what I mean? And of course, I think modern Christians understand that in their idea of the rapture, which is so popular, that the living are going to get rapturized too, if you want to call it that. I don't know if they had an idea of the rapture back in those days, but you see, you have two classes of people in the Damascus document. You have the righteous predecessors who are going to, according to the Maccabee books, the righteous will be resurrected. The others don't go to hell like we see it now, which, brings in Greco-Roman concepts of Hades and so on, and also brings in some Egyptian ideas, etc., etc. But for the Maccabee book, 2nd century BC, particularly Maccabees 2, the righteous are resurrected and the others just stay dead. That's the way it is. The righteous are resurrected. The others don't go on to some weird world where people are rolling stones and boiling them up, and some mythological, maniacal, what's his name, Mel Gibson sort of world. I heard that he's got this new book called Apocalyptios, this new movie Apocalyptios, which is well executed. They wonder, well, what's going to happen? It's so well executed, aren't they going to nominate him for an Academy Award? Well, the problem is that it's so sadistical, people ripping out hearts and eating things and bloodthirsty from violence from one end to the other, that I think people could, with all due conscience, not nominate him. So one reviewer has said, yeah, he's a good movie maker, but he's a sadist.